This video is a quick introduction to the Smart Lab activities that can be found within Smart Notebook 16.2. So the Smart Lab activities allow you to make interactive activities to do with your students. You can personalize them to your subjects and your topics, and I think they're a really good thing to quickly put together if you want some warm-ups, you want some icebreakers, maybe you want a little bit of revision, perhaps you're doing a kind of station activity session. I think what's also good about them is that they can involve words and sentences, but they can also involve pictures as well. So they're quite good for a range of different students, and some of them can be run from students' mobile phones. So you click on this little gremlin-y looking creature up here in the menu bar, and that opens up the Smart Lab menu, and then you can see all the different kinds. And what we're going to do is go through them in this video, and then you can pick the tutorial with a little bit more detail showing you how to set up the activity and what it looks like. So you get your whole menu here, and up at the top left here, the first one we've got is a fill in the blanks. So you can have a large paragraph of text, and then you've covered over keywords with blanks, and students need to pick up the word and put it into the right area. So quite good for testing comprehension and understanding. This flip out activity is a much simpler one where you're just flipping over a card to reveal the underneath. The game show is quite a lengthy activity with different questions and two teams and a kind of spin the wheels type affair, so that's kind of quite good if you want a bit more of an involved activity. The label reveal allows you to put a picture on, put some labels on it, and then students need to guess what the labels are and then reveal them. So very useful around biology, maybe different sort of subjects like that. Match 'em up is really just sort of joining things up together. So again, perhaps a little bit more of a simpler activity around classifications, that could be very useful. This monster test activity allows you to do all sorts of different styles of questions, and where it says devices required underneath, that means that students operate that from their mobile phones or from their computers. So I'll demonstrate that in the later video so that you can see how they access that. Scrolling a bit further down, you see the rest of the menu here. So at the top left here, we've got rank order. That's really useful for putting things into an order, or perhaps a sequential order when things are going to happen. Might be quite useful for a planning session. This response to, I think, is really handy because there's a wide range of questions you can have: true or false, short answer, multiple choice, and again they're all running from devices as well. So a really useful way of doing an interactive quiz with the class. Next up, down on the left hand side, we have Shout It Out. That's kind of your sort of typical brainstorming activity. So whereas before you would have had students maybe writing on flip chart paper or using post-it notes, this is working the same way, but they're just using either the computer or their mobile phone to shout out responses. It could be whole sentences, it could be one word. Speed Up is a kind of a car racing game, and it stops at different points and students need to quickly answer a question. You would need to use one of the newer smart boards with that because it wouldn't work so well on an old smart board. And last of all, we have Super Sort, so two different categories, and students need to sort items into a category. So again, very useful if there's two areas of a topic students confuse quite often. You can do an activity around really clarifying what the difference between them is. So if you check out the next set of videos, that'll show you tutorials with a bit more detail as to how to use all of these.